I'm gonna do it again on here. I'm gonna talk about a Nintendo Switch game, even though like 3/4 of you guys aren't gonna give a shit, just like I did with ARMS. I've been playing a ton of Splatoon 2, and I realize that every time like I'm chilling on the couch, I keep picking up my Nintendo Switch and I fire up Splatoon 2 because I think it's good. I like it a lot. There's been a lot of really good competitive games coming out lately, be it for Switch or just for whatever. It's kind of overwhelming, but I think Splatoon is different because it's just different. Yeah, Splatoon 2 is weird like that, but it's refreshing. I played it a little bit when it was on Wii U, but it obviously was sent out on a console that was dead, so it was sent out to die. But it had a loving following for a reason, because it's cool, it's different. I like it because it looks like a kid game. It looks like a baby game, I've seen a lot of people call it. And it's accessible, it's easy to pick up and have fun, but it's also really fucking difficult to master, and I like that. Like, when you're good at Splatoon, you're fucking good at Splatoon. And if you're playing against someone who is really good at Splatoon, you feel it. You get your ass beat. I think part of the reason why I like it so much, this is gonna sound so lame though, it's the fact that it's not shooting. Like, yes, you're shooting enemies and stuff, but that's not the main focus. And also, it's not guns or anything. It feels like an old 90s Nickelodeon cartoon, and I don't know, I didn't think I wanted that, but now that I have it, I really want it. The main thing here is, if you don't know Splatoon, the biggest mode is Turf War. It's basically designed around the whole ink graphics thing. You can cover surfaces with your ink gun or ink weapon, and Turf War is about covering the most amount of the map as possible compared to the other team. Now, you can hop into the ink as a little squid and glide around and do jumps, but you only can really do that successfully and quickly if it's your colored ink. If another player is coming in and blasting their ink all over your territory, you're less mobile in that territory. So there's actually, it can be chaotic and stupid and fun where everyone's just going nuts and spraying stuff, but it can also get a little strategic, which is interesting because like there's crucial moments where you can get taken out of the action in a specific point, and that time for you to respawn, someone can get in and cover your stuff with all their ink. It sounds like all the time I'm just talking about cum, but that's what you do. You splatter your stuff all over the place and all over the other players. There are other modes, and what I do like about them is that you gotta level up enough. You gotta reach level 10 to get into the ranked playlists where things really shake up. But I think Splatoon 2 is also interesting because it's community-based. You know, the modes are refreshed and updated, and it's kind of like a running thing that is updated on their end of things, and the game informs you of that. So it always makes the game feel kind of like it's always fresh and updated, and it really does give you a sense of community. Not to mention there's like the little social hub area, which is kind of like a Miiverse, where it's just a complete shit show. I love seeing that part of the Miiverse kind of live on here because you see so much funny and weird stuff, and it's just really a microcosm for how the internet really is. But the other biggest thing they added here is Salmon Rush mode, which is cool because it's basically kind of like a horde mode, and I'm a sucker for horde modes. I love it. And here it's really cool because it's about going out and fighting little bosses and stuff who are constantly spraying the map with their ink, making it harder for you, making it really hard. But you can beat them, scoop up their eggs, and then you have to quickly fly back and run it back and dunk it into your goal as quickly as possible. So it does really make it like this fast-paced and really challenging mode, and I'm pretty hooked on it. Especially it's cool because it's like a separate mode, not in the main playlist, so it has its own progression and stuff. And the game does do good with progression because there is gear and different weapons you can unlock for your little Splatoon dude. You pretty much dress up your little ink person as like a total douchebag, but I do like that you earn currency to buy stuff in all these different shops in the social area. And the coolest part is that the better equipment you get, the more slots they have where you can level up that equipment and unlock different perks within it. So there's always kind of something to work for, and I always talk about that because I care about that stuff, and they do a good job with that here. Interestingly enough though, everyone swears by, and I did when I played it on Wii U, everyone swears by the motion controls, and they're really good, but I never thought, like, I've never ever had this happen to me before, but I get sick playing this game with the motion controls. Like, I had to like completely throw up. You could turn them off, of course. You could play traditionally like a controller, and you don't really lose out, I guess. It's easier to whip around and have better accuracy and just spray your ink everywhere if you are playing with motion controls. But once I got really sick and I threw up all over the place, I did switch to traditional controls, and that was fine. It's not gonna happen for everyone. It's not a big deal. It was probably just me. It's a very specific thing. But I never get sick. I never get motion sickness playing anything, not even really any VR games. So I thought that was kind of weird. But Splatoon 2 is good. It scratches that competitive itch on Nintendo's Switch that you may not have expected to really have had. And I gotta give them props for that. I definitely see myself playing this quite a bit here and there for the foreseeable future. I really do love that Salmon Run mode, or Salmon Rush. But if you have a Nintendo Switch, I definitely suggest you look into it. Even if you're not the biggest multiplayer person, there is a single player mode, which is great. I thought that was going the way of the dodo. It was just going to be all multiplayer games. But there's a decent single player mode here. You're not going to give a shit about the story at all, but it's really fun gameplay scenarios with good bosses. It's not the longest, but it's good. I think you might like Splatoon 2. It might be your thing if you have a Nintendo Switch and if you're cool with Nintendo games. But if you are into Nintendo games, I definitely want to know what you're thinking of Splatoon 2. If you're super hardcore with these games, I want to know what you think with this one compared to the first one, because I didn't play the first one enough hardcore to really have a comparison, but I want to know what you're thinking. And maybe if you're a newcomer, maybe you have a Nintendo Switch and you're looking into it, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're feeling from seeing my gameplay and stuff. Oh, and if you haven't already, I did announce winners from the 100,000 subscriber giveaway. I announced them in my Fortnite video, so go check that out. I'm probably going to be doing more giveaways soon because I need to do more for you guys. Because you sit around here and you listen to me ramble, and I really appreciate that. You know, clicking the like button helps this humble little channel out. But as always, I'm Jake Baldino. Thank you guys for watching. You can subscribe because video games.